Bienvenidos, Ushamdeed, and welcome Anne Arundel Community College learners from the Spring 2023 semester taking the CTS-233 Section 400 Network Programmability course. This is the Cisco Networking Academy's DEVASC 200-901 Certification Exam Preparation course, and we're going to continue our journey here building a continuous integration, continuous deployment CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins. So where does Jenkins really fit into all of this, right? So we've sort of created this Docker inside of a Docker instance. We're running Jenkins. What is Jenkins going to do for us? Well, Jenkins is a pretty cool tool, as you're about to see. We're going to be covering parts 5 and 6. Part 5 is 3 or 4 steps. It's just going to be installing some plugins. That's already been done so that we don't have to sit and watch the plugins get installed. You're going to skip creating an admin user, and then we're going to pick up on part 6, which is we're using Jenkins to run a build of our application. And so what we're going to be doing with Jenkins, and you're going to learn how to configure Jenkins to basically run your GitHub repository code, and you could even configure Jenkins to sense that if something's been changed, if a new version has been pushed up to the GitHub repository, they can auto-magically go ahead and pull that code, run that code for you to test it. And so Jenkins plays that role of checking to make sure that the code that you're pushing up is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So let's dive in, right? Let's get on the GUI here, the web browser for Jenkins. As you can see, we're at localhost :8080. That was the port that we kicked off. And again, part 6 talks about being able to retrieve code from a source code management repository such as GitHub, right? You can build an application using a script or a build tool. You can even package an application and run it on a server using Jenkins, right? And so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to create a simple Jenkins job that is literally going to retrieve the latest version of our sample-app code from GitHub. And then it's going to, we're going to use a build script. And then Jenkins is going to go ahead and run it for us to the point where we're going to be able to pull up our sample app tab here. And actually, let me close that down. We'll be able to open up a new tab to take a look at our sample app. And again, remember, the sample app is just telling me where I'm accessing my Python Flask web server from. All right, so here we are. First step of the lab, right? You can click on new item straight away, but you could also, if you wanted to, kind of scroll down here. And right where it says, oops, sorry, there would have been a screen that you would see where it says, welcome to Jenkins. And right there, you could click on creating a new job. But again, we can do that right from here by clicking on new item. So we're going to do that right now. And I'm going to call this my sample app build. Again, you can put any name in here that you want. You can even throw a date in here. Let's say 0302. Hard to believe it is March already. And so we'll put today's date. Now, what kind of a project are we running here? You can see we've got a pipeline, right? Orchestrates long-running activities that span multiple build agents. Very flexible, multi-config project, but we are interested in the freestyle project, right? The central feature of Jenkins that's going to build my project. SCM simply stands for Software Configuration Management, right? And let's go ahead and click on that. You'll notice I think the lab tells you to scroll down, but you can just, it highlights the OK right here. So we're going to be able to click OK right there. So what are we doing? We created a freestyle build project and we named it Sample Build App, I think is what we called it. So let's click on OK. Now this is going to take us to the configured Jenkins screen here. And you can see it right up here. These are just kind of shortcuts right up here, right? So if I was to click on that, it would take me back to the sample app build, but we're configuring things. So we're going to click on the General tab. Now, here's the thing. This is kind of, learners get confused here. You'll click on the General tab and you're expecting that something's going to happen when you do this. However, nothing is happening, right? So it gives you the impression that your VM might be stalled. But if I hover over source code management, you can see that, yeah, no, we're still live here. So you need to click on General. You need to scroll down. And this is where we would put our description in. So you would go ahead and click in that box. And I'm just going to put in here, this is the showtime for Jenkins. And we can put in 03022023. All right. So we can just go ahead and put the name in there. And we're going to click on Source Code Management next. Now, when you click on the Source Code Management button, This is going to bring us down here. And again, I could have continued to scroll down. You'll notice that this is all kind of taking place. Like there's general, right? So you don't have to scroll back to the top, right? You could continue to just kind of scroll down. And here's where it gets really cool. So we're going to select get. Now, we're initially going to get an error here, right? Because what they want you to do is they have you click on the source code management, the get radio button, in the repository URL field. It wants you to put in your GitHub repository URL. So we're going to say github.com/Travis P, BONFIGLI. Hopefully it didn't stall out and it's going to misspell something there. Travis P, BONFIGLI /sample-app. And the .get here at the very end is very important. And you can see there, it's kind of, the virtual machine's lagging on me. All right. So https://// So that is my GitHub repository. Now you'll notice it says, please enter GitHub repository. What's going to happen here is we're going to see an error message at some point here. At least I would anticipate. Let's make sure we've spelled everything right there. Yes. So we should see some kind of an error here shortly because we're going to click on the credentials drop down. And actually, we're going to add credentials. There we go. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. So you can see that it says failed to connect to the repository because we put the GitHub URL into our repo first, but I haven't provided any credentials, right? So we're going to click on add credentials here. You're going to click on Jenkins, and this is going to pop up a new window. We're going to leave everything the way it is, except we're going to come down here and username. This is, again, think of it as we're doing the push request, right? And we're going to be asked for our GitHub username, Travis P. Bonfili for me, and then the password. Well, remember, the password isn't a password. It's your personal access token. It's this guy right here, right? So I save that guy. So we'll click on copy. And actually, I'm going to do it again. It might be kind of lagging there. We'll click on copy. We'll come back over here, and we're going to paste that value in. So now we have our GitHub credentials. And remember, you're getting that error message because this has not been entered in. So let's go ahead. We'll come on down here, and we'll click add. Now, we didn't give this any kind of a special name, so when we go to select these credentials, it's going to be the topmost credential here is the most recent one that you've entered in. So if I click on that, you can see what happens. The error message goes away, right? Now, once that error message goes away, we've added our credentials. We're going to go to the build app screen. Now, if I continue to scroll down here, you can see we've got some build triggers, but that's not what it's referring to here, right? You've got your build environment. We'll keep going down. So now we get down to build steps, but that's not what the lab says, right? So it says at the top of the build app job, and I just called mine, I think it was like, Jenkins job or whatever, configuration window, click on the build tab. So if we were to go all the way back up here to the top of the screen, right, because we went all the way to the bottom, you'll notice that there is no build tab, right? We've got a config tab. You've got build triggers, build environment, and build steps, right? So we want to add a build step. So I think step G in the lab, again, it says at the top of the build app configuration window, click on the build tab, but there really is no build tab here. So we're going to go ahead and click on save for right now. There we go. And if I was to go back to the sample app build that I have with the build date, what we could do is you could come down to configure. Oops, sorry. You could come down to configure. And we could have clicked on build steps earlier, but I'm just showing you that you could have saved it. We can click on build steps. Again, when I click on build steps, there's the add build step. So again, we could have done that earlier, but I wanted to make sure I save things here so that we don't run into any issues. But this is how you would get back into adding a build step. And we're going to execute a shell script. And here's how easy it is. We're going to put in here bash./sample-app.sh. Whoops. And that is that build script that we had, the bash script that's going to do our build for us that we had created earlier. So now we'll click on the save button. We've got everything dialed in, ready to go. And so we're really ready to have Jenkins build the app. So right here where it says build now, this is what we're going to click on to build our application. So Jenkins, and you can see it says build scheduled. Now, as you're sitting here, you might be thinking, okay, well, what's happening? Well, if I quickly scroll down, and you can see it built it right away. It did it in 1.6 seconds. Let me go back up here and let's build it again. If I click build now, build scheduled, if I scroll down real quickly, we might be able to catch, there it is, the second build, right? And so it shows you build number 2. So we want to access the details, right, of the build. So all we have to do is click on that build. We're going to click on the console output so that we can see what's going on here. Now, we could do view as plain text, but if you scroll down, right, this is what we're looking for. And so what did Jenkins just do? Jenkins accessed my GitHub repository. You can see a list of all of the activities that are taking place here, fetching upstream changes from my GitHub repository, right? And let's see what we've got down here. Yeah, and it couldn't make the temp directory. It already exists, so that's fine. And then here we go. So you can see it's running. It's got 14 steps here, right? So we're grabbing the Python image. We're installing Flask. We're making all these copies, right? So it's executing everything in which file here? The Docker file, exactly. And then we run the command, and we should see that this app is actually running on port 5050. Remember, that was the change that we made in the previous part of lab 636. So how can I confirm that this is actually happening right now? Well, let's kick open a tab and make sure that this container and our app is running. And we just type in here, oops, we'll just put in here localhost, and 5050 should be queued up in here. And there you go. And where's this 172.17.0.1? Well, again, that is the Docker interface that's running on the virtual machine, which I am on right now, the DEVASC virtual machine. All right, so pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We just use Jenkins to create a build of our app. Again, whenever we wanted to run it again, if I click on sample app right here, I can click on build now. I could go back in, configure some different things. I could even delete the project if I wanted to. I can rename the project. So we've also got some workspaces, but again, very, very cool. And now we're going to take Jenkins to the next step. We're going to stop the sample running app. We're going to remove it in part 7, and then we're going to create a test job. So let's go ahead and knock that out. So that's going to do it for parts 5 and 6 of Lab 636, where we're building a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.